Just finished our 9th practice. Good competitive day. Had a scrimmage Saturday, and it was really competitive. Really good work back and forth. Big plays on both sides of the ball, and really pleasing to see. You know, you can be mad at both sides or be happy with both sides. That's a great thing. So incredibly competitive, all good on good work, and still working at developing depth charts and seeing who can play consistently and knows what to do and plays fast and aggressive, and developing the team. I like our leadership. Again, great strain, great competition, but trying to continue to grow the team up. I had 114 plays, not including 13 plays of special teams on Saturday, and it came out of it really relatively healthy, and might have a guy here or there with a pole or something, but it was really, really good, and a lot to teach from off the tape. Far from perfect. We still got a long way to go. Not coach speak. We just got a lot we got to improve on, and but we've got, again, from Saturday 3 weeks, and every day counts. We have a week away from school starting, so we got to make all these days count. And I like the spirit of the team. We're in a good spot, and again, love the competition on both sides of the ball. And got some young guys at some spots that are growing up really, really fast. Love seeing them get in there and get an opportunity with different groups and sub packages to see what they can do. So really, it's in a really good part of camp right now. It's exciting coming off again that first scrimmage. We'll scrimmage again on Wednesday, full scrimmage, and then half scrimmage later on, situational scrimmage later on in the week, heading into game prep and those last 2 weeks before kickoff. So,
how's Dylan doing? Everybody talks about everybody else. But
yeah, it's like he's no different than any other player, but he's played a lot of football. When he does make a mistake, he's quick to know it and know how to fix it. The biggest thing, for quarterback is accuracy and making good decisions. Both pre and post snap. Relying on the experience that he has, he can make a lot of good decisions post snap, and but he's done great. He's led well, and they're continuing to install. Again, you're still in an aggressive place of installation, and so but he's handled everything well.
Hey Brent, on the defensive side, what did you like most about just improvements you've seen from the defense overall?
Confidence, aggressiveness, physicality, consistency in that 2 deep, and it's never where you want it to be, but it's improved from where we were. That's the biggest things. I like watching guys that have really invested, that have been here for whatever amount of time. I like to watch them being, invested in chasing excellence, and knowing that, again, I may not get there, but I like watching there's an intent that matters. And so we've got a lot of guys that are straining and competing and having the right mindset when it comes to every moment on the practice field, every rep, the meeting room, everything matters. So that's part of it too, just developing a culture of again, expectations and the willingness to move the expectations in the right direction.
Brent, something you've got this time around that you didn't a year ago is just a year's time in this job. Are you looking at anything, whether it's these practices, these scrimmages, differently this time around?
No, just things that we talked about before we started camp, just the overall efficiency of everything, and I want to see the improvement in the areas that we're looking for. Obviously there's expectations on how we do what we do, and so you're always managing that. If that's uniform of the day, how they get on and off the field, how they, their body language, and with their coaches. And the coach's job is not to make you happy. A coach's job is to make you better. I want coaches to go out of their way to strain guys right now. I want to know what they're made of right now. And you develop, that mindset too. The intensity and the passion. That's all part of the game. And managing your emotions is incredibly important for the players. Having poise in those tough moments. So just looking at everything, both pre, post snap scheme. Again. Sidelines, all of those things.
Talked a lot about Danny and Jaron so far. Where are Kobe and Kip at? How are they coming along?
They're making great improvement. They're in a much different place like those guys, like Danny and Jaron. They've improved tremendously as well in their confidence and their knowledge and their fundamentals and their strength and their assuredness. Both of them had really good camps.
What are your thoughts on the camps that your freshman running backs have had, Caleb and Dalen's Moses?
Yeah, they've done good. They've done well. DeMarco, if he was getting interviewed right now, he said we want to do better, be more consistent, have more of a sense of urgency all the time. But they're coming along, and they're learning from the older guys. You know, Javante and Marcus and Gavin, they're all having great camps too.
Did Dalen have to take a break or anything?
Normal off the field stuff, no big deal.
Okay.
He's back and everything's great. He's in good grace.
What's your thoughts on your special teams at this point in camp?
Yeah, it's been good. You know, ask me in another week or so. We're still developing, you know, who the personnel is exactly. Some guys we know, but I've been really pleased with both our kicking with Zach and Zach in particular has been really good in camp, and then in our punting situation, it's been very competitive. So I'm anxious to see how that plays out here over the next 10 days.
Has Andrew Anthony become a guy that you think you guys can rely on?
He's done well. Had some big plays in the scrimmage. Had another big play out here today. He's gaining more and more confidence every day that he practices, and Emmett's done a nice job of getting him involved and teaching him and getting him to learn how to play fast, utilize his skill set, and be competitive in tough situations. You know, third down, third medium, you got to have a play, making tough, competitive plays when the defense is in position, and you got to make plays. And he's done that as well as other guys, but Andrew's had a nice camp too.
Does he feel to you like a guy who could maybe fill the kind of role that Jaleel did a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got good depth there. Andrew's going to be, based on what you've seen so far, Andrew will be a major part of the offensive system. But Jaleel or anyone else will continue to find ways to utilize all of the personnel the right way.
We hear a lot about Justin Harrington, and he obviously looks the part. How has he maybe grown into that cheater role?
He's good. He's again, a year ago, he came right at the end of spring football because we let him back on the team, so he didn't know anything. He went through the summer not knowing anything, and hadn't played much football in a while, so really wasn't able to find a niche other than some special teams, and really dedicated the offseason to get better and become more knowledgeable and make improvements in all the areas he needed to fundamentally, and strength and explosiveness. And he's had some great moments and some great learning moments as well during camp. So again, he's got some versatility. I think he can play multiple spots, and we'll continue to develop that part of his game. And I think that'll bode well for both him and for us.
At tight end, have you been able to get your guys back to practice yet? I mean, how's that position looking?
Yeah, I mean it's come along, well. With obviously Stogg's done a great job, and Blake and Mac and Hamp, those guys in particular are guys that have gotten most of the reps, and they've done well, really well. That's a group that's continuing to evolve and improve and get better. And again, Hamp's a guy he's big, he's super athletic, can really run. He's strong, he's tough, he's competitive, he's physical, and comes from some confidence. Having just been an offensive player quarterback, he actually he's not like the right guard that he's got to learn tight end. He's a guy that has a quarterback background. He understands what a tight end's supposed to do, and I think that's helped him from the transition standpoint.
The defensive line, how did they look in the scrimmage, and how have you seen them?
Good and bad. We're working on all the little things. Again, just having eye discipline, constricting gaps, and executing with good timing and pad level and footwork. So again, it was okay. Not amazing. We got work to do. Discipline to do the little things right. Again, play physical, play with low pads, and move with our great footwork and the fundamentals and the hands and the feet, all of that. So not where we want to be yet by any stretch.
How's that?
John Terry, I mean,
Yeah, he's done some good stuff. He's strong, he's powerful. Can, split a double team. He moves really well. He's athletic, for a big guy, and so he's done well.
How's that other cornerback position going?
Yeah, the other corner. I mean, it's always competing, So, and the competition's been great. Love that group of guys. And just trying to strain them and get them ready, get them game ready. And Dolby's a guy that has actually played some college football, and he's had a really good camp. He had a better camp than he had spring. And Corey Vickers is having a better camp than he had spring. Not that that's earth-shattering. They're just making the improvement that you want guys to make. That really the whole group is improving. So really excited about that group of guys. Love the improvement that they've made. Again, we're not where we got to be, and that's not again coach speak. We just got a lot of work to do. There's going to be plenty of moments of failure along the way that they didn't see that. That's the first time they saw that. All right, let's teach them. And this is a group of guys that are super coachable. There's no finger pointing. These are guys that take responsibility. Stay even keeled. I like that group of guys. Jay's done a good job bringing that group along.
Brent, there's been kind of some talk about your physicality in camp. Maybe it's scaled back a little. Do you look at it that way? Is that a purpose, and kind of what do you hope to get out of that?
I don't see that. I mean, we have the exact same amount of live plays as we had a year ago. So I see live as as maybe that's the barometer but we've had the exact same amount of live plays. So I don't necessarily see that. We might have less time on the field, but we've had the same amount of plays. And just being more efficient, we're getting the periods quicker and a little bit more of that. But physicality's been good, and again the scrimmage was good to see guys picking up, doing a good job in protection. The other side of the ball at times doing a good job of condensing the pocket. Playing physical in coverage. Receivers playing physical, making plays in coverage. You have to ask me if you can put that on my person, don't you? He's not in the mood. And then again the physicality as the defense. We had some really good moments, and we had some moments that we fainted, at the wrong time from a defensive standpoint. And then from the offensive standpoint, they did a good job in making you miss in space, in the hole or in space. And so, but I like, running the ball physical, offensive line, man, they're really coming along. I like that group of guys. Backs are running with power, the physicality, and we're playing a little more physical, in our front seven.
Going back to the running backs, I think we saw Gavin kind of jogging off to the side, separate from the rest of the group. How's he doing right now?
He's doing great. He's doing really good. Just trying to get him to game prep here in a week, but he's been doing well.
But we saw a highlight that you guys put out of Freeman jumping over a guy. Do you have that kind of skill talent? I mean, are you seeing those kind of things all the time?
You saw it. You said you saw it.
I
So
did.
that means
but
we do
that's
have it.
one guy. Do you have other guys? You have guys that can make those.
Yeah, I mean, of course. And, I don't necessarily know if I highly recommend. Those guys weren't going down at his feet, but that's, but we have some guys that can do that. Yeah, we have plenty of explosive athletes. Yeah.
You've talked a lot about Danny's growth in the offseason. Have you seen that translate in camp? And is he a guy that you can see playing both Mike and Will? Or
he can.
Yeah.
No, he certainly can, and we've done that some with him.
Yeah.
Just always looking at trying to anticipate. What's a worst case scenario? You lose a guy, lose a couple guys. What's the next plan? Who's the next best guy? And so we're trying to figure all that out, develop that, nurture that development. And I like where we're at that way, but he's just again more consistent. He usually knows the answer to the test, even if he missed it, the question initially, he'll know right away. But he's had great humility. You can really coach him hard, and that helps coach everybody hard. When one of your better players, you can really hold accountable at it and hold him to a high standard. The way he accepts it makes it better for everybody. Yeah.
Kerry asked you about physicality. Is there any difference in terms of structure or your role, anything different from training camp last year to this year?
Just have a few periods that are a little tighter, more efficient, but we're being again more efficient with how we practice. But physicality is a part of it every day. Even when you're in. As Walter was talking about that. Your first day when we're in spiders. Helmets and shorts only. It's still about being physical. So that's been a same emphasis, as it was, a year ago. We just got to be better at it. The issue, we weren't very good at it, a year ago, like we needed to be. And so we got to still continue to work hard at becoming a more physical football team. Some of it's being stronger, some of it's being more confident, some of it's being more sure of yourself. And sometimes some guys that you recruit are more physical. That's just the nature.
We haven't heard a ton about Jaden Rowe. Just how's he doing so far?
He's been doing good. He had some just minor bumps and tweaks and things like that. Yeah. He's really kind of had that since he's been here. Been snake bit that way. One of a handful of guys that. So when he's been out and been available, as I said before, your best ability is your availability, and he's got all the ability in the world. We just got to keep him out here on the field, because when he is, he's a sponge. He plays hard. He's incredibly competitive, really smart. He's big and long and fast, and so hopefully we can keep him healthy and bring him along. Gentry, he can really help us.
Sorry, Gentry and
You guys start to wrap up, guys.
Yeah, they're doing good. They're having good camps and competing. And
are they like head to head? How would you characterize that? Are they going back and forth?
Yeah, we got Woody has he's been our most consistent guy, and everybody else is still fighting for the same opportunity right now.
Brent,
Nobody's pulled ahead of anybody.
Brent, your linebacker. What you like seeing Danny Stutzman with the blood on his face? Does he look like a linebacker to you? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't even pay attention to stuff like that. That goes without saying. But yeah, he's a tough guy. It's a tough position. To me, that's should be the heart and soul of the defense there, and up the middle of your defense. And but Danny's got broad shoulders, and he cares a great deal. He accepts, the challenge and the responsibility of leading everybody. So expect him to have a fantastic year, and for him to, get the most out of his teammates.
Brent, we've had a few years of week 0 games. Yep. You guys hadn't been involved yet. I don't think you were at Clemson either, but what are the pros and cons of the week 0 setup?
I don't know, because I haven't been a part of it. I would say probably give you a little bit of, all right, here's game 1. We just got done. All right, here's where we're at, and we have a couple of extra days going into the next couple of games from mentally and physically, continue to recover from fall camp, first game, and where you need to maybe a little more time from assessing, where you're at, going into that second and that third game. I think is just from an observer of what the advantages might be, not having lived it out. That's what I would see.
You played a team that had one last year, Nebraska. Just watching those first few weeks of Nebraska tape, did you see anything that struck you as far as week 0 might be concerned?
I don't know if it was any different than what you would see game 1, of the season from somebody. So I would say probably not. I don't think so. But if you're preparing for somebody who's already played, maybe that gives you a little extra time to figure out what you might want to do if you're looking ahead. But usually you're kind of one team at a time.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Brent.
Yeah, you got it. Appreciate it.